Okay, so the affirmative is saying that increasing minimum wage will reduce poverty, but it can also increase poverty by creating unemployment. An article by the Federal Reserve Bank of Chicago stated that if the minimum wage is increased, fast food restaurants would pass an almost 100% of the increased labor costs onto consumers and other firms. Oh, sorry. Okay, so the Congressional Budget Office, once fully implemented in the second half of 2016, the $10.10 option would reduce total employment by about 500,000 workers. And also in a survey by a company, 1,213 business and human resources professionals, they used it to do the survey. 30% of employers who currently pay minimum wage said that it would lay off some employees if minimum wage was raised to 10. 54 said that they would decrease hiring levels. And also, because they have to pay more to produce, they either are going to cut off employers because they need to pay more to others, and unemployment brings poverty. And also, there can happen that the business can, instead of having workers, like human workers, they can replace them with machines. According to the Congressional Budget Office, second, a minimum wage increase raises the cost of low-wage workers relative to other inputs that employers use to produce goods and services, such as machines, technologies, and more productive high workers. They're going to go to those inputs because they're going to have to pay more for people. So those inputs sometimes is better. They can do more than humans do. Some employers respond by reducing their use of low-wage workers and shifting toward those inputs. And also, the Washington Post observed that as minimum wage campaigns gain attraction around the country, many restaurant chains already at work looking for ingenious ways to take humans out of picture, threatening workers in an industry that employs 2.4 million wait staffers, nearly 3 million cooks and food preparers, and many of the nation's 3.3 million cashiers. You can see that by Olive Garden. They already have kiosks that you can pay, you can order food by that machine, and only workers just need to bring food. So they could stop by that. And also, they wouldn't reduce poverty, they would bring more people to poverty because people would have work to do. Another thing that he says is that about the cost of living. But if one of the options to employers is to cut off staff, but the other option is to increase the price of foods and goods. So, in an article by the Federal Reserve Bank of Chicago, it stated that if the minimum wage is increased, fast food restaurants would pass an almost 100% of the increased labor costs onto consumers, and that other firms may do the same. A Purdue University study released in July 2015 suggests raising the wage to $15 an hour for limited service restaurants employees would lead to an estimate of 4.3% increase in prices at those restaurants. And so they would have to pay more for their workers. If they don't cut off staff, they would have to increase the prices of their foods to keep up with the pain. And regarding housing prices, the problem, I have an evidence from an interview to Southern California Public Radio, Rosen Ray, and UCLA housing researcher stated, a full-time worker in LA earning the current minimum wage of $9 an hour makes about $19,000 a year. In the year of 2015, LA's minimum wage will be $15 an hour, and that same worker will have little more than $330,000 a year. That means around 700,000 minimum wage workers will have more money to compete for the same low inventory of rental units. What you're essentially doing is increasing the buying power without increasing the supply, which will just drive up the prices. So even if the examples are with 15, increasing to 15, an increase to 10 is also increased. So also prices are going to increase, housing prices are going to increase, food prices, unemployment, and with all those prices increases, you can think about inflation. Inflation will increase too. So there's lots of negative effects. Increasing unemployment, leaving more people from being able to support themselves. Besides, the higher price of foods affects everyone, especially the poor. Okay, so nowadays you have poor people struggling to buy foods or housing or the cost of living, but if you raise to 10, you have more people earning more, but price is going up, so they will be still struggling to pay for cost of living. And the great demand for housing won't keep up with the supply too, so yeah, that's it.